What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It has been a while since I've posted. I can't remember the last time I posted, but since then we've had a bunch of upgrades. As you guys can see, I am sitting currently in my new bass boat. Yes, I got a bass boat. I still have the kayak, but this summer it's all about the bass boat. I got myself a Lund Pro-V Bass 2075. This is a 2024 model, and today I'm gonna do a quick walkthrough of the boat. Talk about some of the things that I added on, my initial thoughts about the boat, how I feel about it. I've taken it out a few times now. We just got back from like a 5-day cottage trip. We fished all week with it. I absolutely love the boat already. I love the way it rides. I love the room in here, the space, everything about it. Very minor little things I don't like about the boat. Aside from that, it is absolutely great. We're gonna start off at the back of the boat, talk about some of the things I've added there, and yeah, let's get right to it. All right, so Mercury Pro XS 250 horsepower came with the boat. I had to go with it. Solid motor, in the process of breaking it in at the moment. I think I've got about 8 hours on it. I also added the Mercury SmartCraft part into the computer inside the motor. That allows you to monitor your fuel and your hours on your Mercury app. Of course, I had to go and get the leash just in case. Safety first, always. Got the family in the boat. You never know. So this leash can definitely save lives, and I'm sure it has. Default stock prop on it so far. We got the TH Atlas jack plate, hydraulic, 6 inches. I read a lot of good reviews about this, so I went ahead and purchased it. I actually even used it in some skinny water we were in. Can't really see it, but I've got my transom saver on right now. This is from BeatDown Outdoors. It comes with clips either side for the motor as well. Small little purchase, but I absolutely love it. Of course, I'm in Kota Talons. I had the choice between power poles and the Talons. The Talons cost me a little bit less, and I decided to give them a shot. These are the 12-foot models. I got it with the tilt brackets, so just one step on here or push down, and these can rest on your rear deck over here. Super happy with the rear side of the boat in terms of the motor and the Talons. We use this a lot in the wind, anchored this down, had no issues with it. Our GPS Garmin puck rear port side of the boat, which was supposed to be on the other side over there, but there was some magnetic interference the installer was telling me about, and I didn't even know that's a thing. So it's always good to work with people that know what they're doing. So we ended up putting it on the port side. Shout out to Tristan from Marine Tech out in Cornwall, Ontario. This was supposed to be a very basic setup. I wasn't going to get everything put. I was just going to get the trolling motor put on for now. But as time went on, it just ended up growing from there. I purchased everything from him directly, aside from the BeatDown transom saver and the mounts for the console and the bow. And obviously the power pole Move ZR, the trolling motor, and the LiveScope mount I bought from Radio World. Also shout out to Patrick from Precision Marine who got that motor in. Also helped me with actually purchasing and finding somebody who could get me this specific boat that I wanted. So great guys over there as well. So yeah, moving on. Let's get around to this side of the boat. That's pretty much the back, covers it. Oh yeah, I got a GT56 transducer mounted right here, right below the jack plate. Yep, right on the jack plate. So good little spot for it. Had no issues with that. This little thing right here, the YOLO Tech stick, is completely awesome. Goes right into the nav port light right here. I can turn it on and have all-day power for my GoPro. Not only that, I've got a nav light right there, white colored. So for early mornings and late nights, it works. All I gotta do is turn my master power on, turn my nav lights on, and boom, got white light, got power. Plug my GoPro in that, and we're good to go. Give you a little shot of the console as well. So right here is one of the reasons why I got this boat. This boat, the cockpit space is so big, and I wanted a boat that I could comfortably bass fish off of, or not just bass fish, but just any fishing. The deck is massive, but I've also got so much room in the cockpit here for family, friends, my dog, and not feel crammed. So that's why I went with the 20-foot over the 18, because this also comes in an 18-foot version. But the 20-foot is also good for big water. I wanted a boat that can get on big water, St. Lawrence, Great Lakes if I ever want to. So I can comfortably do that in this boat. I can fish off this boat. I can have friends and family and not have to worry about a single thing. 2 flip-up seats in the back. We've got storage underneath the seats. Got life jackets in there. Huge live wells. Some more storage underneath the seat over here. I've got a rear compartment that's filled with like my safety stuff. And then the one in the back over here actually has my cranking battery. So these batteries are Pro Guides, lithium. Obviously it's got the Bluetooth monitoring system because they're heated. This is 180 amp hour. I basically run my big motor and all my electronics. And then for my trolling motor setup, I've got two 60 amp hours, 36 volts running in parallel. So if one does go down, I still have another battery. And they've been absolutely awesome. Like if I go into battery management right now, like this is after a week at the cottage, and then I went out for a little bit yesterday. Everything's sitting at 80%. That's insane. I plugged it in at the cottage once, but honestly, I didn't have. One battery there, 180 amp hour, runs that, runs all the graphs and everything else. And then we've got two 60 amp hours parallel, 36 volt running the trolling motor. Got a lot of room in here, as you guys can see. Got some storage on the side over there as well. The only thing that I can say is I wish these seats were a little bit higher, because when you are sitting in the chair with my console, my bow mount up there and the trolling motor, it can be a little hard to see. So I may get some risers for the seat. And let's give you guys a look of the console. Nice looking gauges, steering wheel, got a nice little Bluetooth system in here, USB port, Type-C, and your regular USB. I also have my PowerPole ZR remote here. There's also a charging station for it, which is pretty cool. If I want to use a remote for the trolling motor. I went ahead and added a hot foot. Read a lot of reviews online about people saying that it's very useful to have. Another day box here. Just have a little GoPro mount in there. Got one in the back as well. Got my Bubba scale in that and some towels. Absolutely love that scale. Cup holders. Two cup holders here, and then two cup holders on the other side. And then we've also got one cup holder in the front. A lot of storage in here. I like it. I love it. That's pretty much it for the cockpit. The last thing I want to talk about is the graph that I'm running on the console. This is a Garmin UHD2 12-inch. This is my main navigation, I guess you could say, side imaging, down imaging, whatever I'm using it for. That's pretty much what I have up here. This is on a BeatDown Outdoors mount. This is a lock-and-swivel. So what this allows you to do is slide and swivel. It can move the screen left and right, but I can also pivot the screen if I want it to be facing this way, which is pretty cool. And just a little ratchet system over here where you can loosen it up, right? And then you can just slide it whichever way you want. Very neat. I love that because, as you can see, it's just a little plate there. And if I want to add a second one over here, I can purchase that plate, install that right there, and have two screens on the console. And right here, my favorite part of the boat is the deck. It is so big. I absolutely love it. There's so much room here. Let's start off with the rod locker. So you guys can see, I've got my spinning rods to my left, casting rods on the right. I think I've got about 16 or 17 setups in here, and I still have some empty holes there. You can double it up. You can store musky rods in here. I forget exactly how long of rods you can fit, but I think 9 feet you can put in here. I've actually got all my rods color coded with the sleeves, so it's easy to know which rods are what. All my X Brides, NRXs, the Mega Basses are red. Got the GLXs that are black and blue, black and yellow. I think I got a couple Daiwas in there that are like gray. So I love it. The rod locker has a lot of room. Built-in cooler. Haven't used this yet, but I think I'm just gonna end up using this as a day box because there's so much room in there. I can just put like plastics and stuff in there. That way I don't have to mess around with opening up the latches when the rods are sitting up on the deck. The port side storage, this is my main tackle storage at the moment. I've got all my planos in like a little slim tray so they don't move around. Got some deep boxes on there for some reel and for some terminal tackle. A lot of my plastics, I got these dust-proof, waterproof containers from Walmart. Put that in there, and then also have some extra plastics in just plastic bags and some random koikis in the back there. It's been good. I still have so much more room in here. I mean, there's not really much to say. There's just ample amount of room. And then on the right side, another storage area over here. This is where my battery charger is mounted. I've got my stool in here, my graph covers and cases, extra life jackets, and still so much more room in here for me to dump some plastics or plano boxes or whatever I want. The front side compartment, empty at the moment. I've got a towel and some rain gear in there. And my GLS 10 is also mounted in the back right there. Easy to get at. I can see if it's on, if it's not. And then The front left side storage completely empty at the moment. So much room in here. I haven't figured out what to put in there, but I'll probably end up putting some extra plastics and some tackle. And as we get towards the bow of the boat, you can see our Power Pole Move ZR foot pedal. We've got the stomp switches for it, anchor, reverse, heading. I've got my push pedals for, stomp pedals for my Minn Kota Talons, and then also our display screen for our Power Pole Move that tells you your speed and whether you're spot locked or not. Right here, which was an expensive purchase for the boat, and something different than most people run. A lot of people run Garmin's or Minn Kotas, Lowrances, but I went ahead with the Power Pole Move ZR after doing some research on this specific motor. Found out that a lot of people are now using it, starting to switch over to it. It's a brushless motor, titanium shaft, very well built, super quiet, very good in weeds. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna try something different. I went with it, and so far I absolutely love it. I have no issues with it. So smooth, very well built. Love this motor. I'm gonna do an in-depth review after I've used it in like different scenarios, and we'll talk about that. For the mounts right here, guys, I've got a BeatDown Ultimate. This is a double stack Shorty. These mounts are so well built. I can loosen this down here and swivel this around whichever way I want, right? And then if I was to loosen this one, I can raise it up and down. And this is at its lowest position, and it's already pretty high. And it's very comfortable to look at the screen, especially when you've got a 16-inch Garmin up here, which is predominantly my LiveScope screen. I'm using LiveScope on this like 90% of the time. If I'm not using this for LiveScope for whatever reason, I'll throw my mapping on here just to get idea of the contours around me, waypoints and things like that. But when I am using LiveScope, this is pretty much dedicated to LiveScope. And then it's a 16-inch, and then I've got a 10-inch up there that I'll run my mapping with while I'm LiveScoping to check out waypoints, make sure I'm staying on the contour lines or areas that I want to fish. It also keeps an eye out for like shallow areas or obstructions that I might possibly run into. I like having that, so I can pretty much switch it to whatever I want. But so far, it's been pretty much LiveScope here, mapping up there, and I love the setup. It's can't really complain. Trolling motor plug over here. We got trim, another cup holder, and that's pretty much it. Like I've got the Geiger Tech scope switch mount for my LVS34. Have no issues with that as well. And then one of the last things that I got for the boat, actually before I do that, let me talk about this little tool holder section the boat comes with, which is pretty cool. I ended up buying a bunch of the Bubba equipment, which I absolutely love, especially these pistol grip pliers. But the Lunds, they actually come with these little tool slots, which I absolutely love. I also bought these lodestones from Tackle Warehouse. They're like little magnets where you can just, like for example, this little panfish jig my kids were fishing with, you can just toss it on here. So I'll sit here a lot of times and rig tackle, and I'm just able to put like little hooks and weights, slap them on there so I don't lose them. I've got a bigger one over here for my knife, and like another pair of scissors, which is awesome. I love it, very cool. And then one of the last things I got was actually these trailer steps from Boat EFX. Custom made. You can choose whatever colors you want, and I absolutely love these because it makes getting in and out of the boat so comfy and so easy, especially when you're solo launching and things like that. The Lunds come with a Shorelander tandem dual axle trailer. So far, runs great. It looks nice, and this is pretty much my initial walkthrough of the boat. Like there isn't really anything else, and I can't really give too much details either because I haven't had the boat long enough. Once I use it a little bit more, I feel like I can give more information, but just a general walkthrough of the boat and show you guys what I'll be fishing out of this year. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are still following along. I haven't gotten a video out. Getting out tomorrow, hopefully I will post a video. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next one.